So when it comes to frost damage, obviously soybeans are our first concern because that growing point is above the surface as soon as it comes out of the ground. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take the plants out of the ground. And so here are our cotyledons. Obviously that is what was the seed, came out of the ground. That's the cotyledons. And then an elongated, we've got some stem. We've got our unifoliate leaves right here. And then if you pull those down, you're going to have your first little set of trifoliates. This spot right here, this is our bud basically. This is our growing point. So when we evaluate the soybean plant itself, we're going to look at the stem below the cotyledons, okay? If we've got dead black tissue below the cotyledons, it's done. We have no hope for that soybean to be able to grow out of this. The next thing we're going to evaluate is the apical meristem, or that primary growing point. Okay, so we're going to check for that growing point right there to see if that is dead and brown and gone. Now, that can be dead and brown and gone, but as long as we've got below the cotyledons is alive, we still have hope, because soybeans have the ability to put on multiple growing points, unlike corn. So, as long as this is still alive, if this is dead, what we're going to do next is look between the cotyledons right next to the stem. Now I've got an example of that. So this is a soybean plant that actually lost its main growing point, that apical meristem, from, I don't know, something ate it or it got burnt off by a herbicide, something. But so the stem is still alive. It's still firm. If I cut into it, it's still white. But when we look between here, this right there is where that main growing point had been, but it was destroyed. So pretend like that got destroyed by frost for a second. These are the two growing points that showed up from between the cotyledons. So when we go out and evaluate these soybean stands, make sure that you're looking for these little, I don't know how well you can see it, but there are these two little buds here growing, and they're green. So make sure that you're evaluating those little buds. If those are dead, the plant is going, if you've lost your main growing point and those two side buds are also dead, you're done. If below the cotyledon is dead, you're done. But if below the cotyledon is still healthy, you've lost your main growing point, but your little tiny buds down here are okay, they're going to be all right.